These two packages are today's new arrivals. But of course it's not everything. But the pile would just keep too big. Let's just start opening stuff. Oh, we got one non-anime DVD so far. Coming soon on Fox. Interesting to consider. I hate it when that happens. Let's start digging through these. Let's see, we got a receipt that needs to go on the side here. We got a 3 TRI packages. TSRI, huh? Yeah. Okay, this one being a tenacious piece of shit. I'm gonna get in there, say, fuck you. And of course a little bit of it will come off with the damn scissors. Let's see. This is the Pokemon that a couple of people definitely tried to let me know about, which I knew. It's just that Amazon was sitting there not knowing when it would come in stock for so long that I ordered from TRSI, and what do you know, the day later that came in stock. Wouldn't have changed which day I showed this video, or this DVD rather, but it's whatever. Next up, we got that, another receipt. And then last but not least, the contents of this box. Looks like the before I kill someone. Don't remember what this was. Let's see, interesting. And it also came with that and a receipt, but I put the receipt aside because I'm not going to look at that. And before we look at this, of course, these showed up. So first, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'll put that on the pile over here because I will talk about that. And then I got the Octolings Splatoon Amiibos, because I guess I really like the Splatoon Amiibos. Alright, so let's begin with Haikara-San, Here Comes Miss Modern. And I think this one is interesting because 11 Arts. Although it looks like Right Stuff worked on it under their Nozomi label. Oh, I didn't even take a look at dubbing and region information. So let's pull the plastic off and take a closer look down here. I see a region A. I see under audio, ooh, English audio, Japanese. Runtime 97 minutes. Which suggests, you know, it's just a movie. Oh, this is part 1. Maybe it's not a movie. I don't know. Before I close that completely, this is not for sale, is I think a sticker set that comes with it. I don't know. Oh look, that looks like a sticker set. Not that I know the characters, but interesting. Let's see. Okay, I was wondering, was she in there? It's hard to tell when they're all chibi-fied. Interesting. At least if they're chibi-fied and you're not familiar with the characters, to me they are very unfamiliar looking characters. That's not going to fit in there. I could probably put the stickers in there, but let's just do that for now and then go to Sound Euphonium 2 Volume 2. Blu-ray. 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 I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking whatever. Let's see. This is a Pony Canyon release with different... Okay, it's not even different underneath the slipcover. Slipcover is the main thing. So down here we've got English and Japanese audio. I couldn't remember if this was dubbed or not. Not seeing anything saying this is region A. But let's take a peek on the inside. Take a peek. Volume 2, disc 1. Volume 2, disc 2. Got some backgrounds. That one looks like it would be more worthwhile to look at. Like so. Interesting. And then we've got postcards inside of sealed plastic thing. So I'm going to be lazy, like I sometimes am, and say, yeah, that's how much I'm opening this. Alright. Next up, Pokeon Sun and Moon, the series. 43 episodes. This is pretty thick and pretty heavy. I'm curious to see it. I don't know if that necessarily means it's good. I know one or two of y'all were saying something about it not being that great. Well, I think they changed character design stuff. That's definitely weird. But, well, let's see. Pikachu. Was it Rowlet? Piplup? Litten. Rockruff, I think, but... Oh, and it's Pikachu 2. Mimikyu, yes. Clean opening and ending. Interesting. English stereo, 43 episodes, 6 disc set. Oh. So we have the Silver Guardian here, which is an interesting name. We have to take this off to see if there's a sexy title underneath it. I wouldn't call that sexy, but that's definitely a nice title. It's a nice design. What it's about, I don't know. Ooh, region A and B. It looks like there's an English dub. Yes. This one includes seasons 1 and 2 extras. Clean opening song, closing song, and trailers. If it's got seasons 1 and 2, oh wow. 18 episodes, so 9 episodes a season or something like that. Or maybe a 1-core season and a half-core season. I think that would make a little more sense. It feels heavy. I don't know if that means it's just... No, it looks like it's pretty normal. There we go. It is in person. Let's see, we have Blu-ray 1, Season 1, Episodes 1 through 12, Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3, and then Season 2, Episodes 4 through 6. So it's a 1-core then half-core. DVD 1 and DVD 2. DVD 2 has all of Season 2, DVD 1 has all of Season 1. Interesting. It might not... It might make the compression questionable for some people, maybe. Or maybe there was something about this series that made it more likely to be able to be released. No, anyways, Dive complete collection. Mostly a bunch of naked guys. One clothed. I say naked, but they're wearing Speedos, of course. Let's see, region A, Japanese with English subtitles only. They have to make the biggest splash ever. I'm trying to decide because these look more like swimmers than divers. But, you know, sometimes that distinction doesn't make too big of a deal for this kind of pun. And I don't know if this was a series intended to capitalize on the free stuff, or if this just happened to be around the same time or predated and so it got licensed, and so it's licensed because of that. Whatever. Konohana Kitan. I'm trying to think if any of these characters look familiar. In any case, we need to take the sticker off to see if there's any more handsome naked boys in Speedos underneath it. And instead we got a pair of hands. If you're into hands, maybe that's a good thing. I guess they're cute. They're not specifically... Oh shit, I have to have those hands. We've got regions A and B in English dub. Extras include next episode previews, textless opening closing songs, trailers. And it's kind of funny when they when next episode previews is on there. But for some series, I guess those are sometimes extra content. Like you'd find them under extras. It doesn't sound particularly glamorous when you list it in the list of stuff, but shit, I'll worry about that when I close it again. I'm trying to decide if it's a very Yuri-ish anime or if it enjoys more androgynous, maybe male characters, because some of these look very clearly female. Most of them do. I don't know. Well, we got discs 1 and 2. Those are Blu-ray, because I can see the AV down there. And then we've got DVDs 1 and 2. It also might not be relationshipy at all. But I guess the only way to really know would be to fire it up. And anyways, Anime-Gataris. And once again, we have to check underneath here for a sexy puppy. Nope. Just more hand, although this one's more finger than hand this time. And I don't know what this one's about. But we got another region A, B, and English dub. Textless opening, closing. So not a whole lot extra-wise, but you know, anime is important. Now I think Anime-Gataris may be the word for story or something like that. So this may be anime stories, and it doesn't look like these characters are from separate ones. So the fact that the back is saying something about anime is important. Is that what it said? Anime is important. Makes me think these are characters who are fans of anime in some way. Think of it like a cultural club sort of thing. I compare to why can't I remember its name? Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, Genshiken. Except I don't think it's supposed to be a cultural club like Genshiken is, and that Genshiken kind of has a more mature, I guess, take on a lot of that stuff. Anyways, we got people again. Blu-ray 1. You know, it's kind of really hard to see there until you know to look for it. It's Blu-ray 2. That's DVD 1 and DVD 2. More imagery. A curious looking series. Next up, we have Samurai Warriors. This is a Blu-ray Anime Essentials release, but I think it was only ever released on DVD before, so this is really strange. Funimation copy. Oh, this says Funimation digital copy. Episodes 1 through 12, Samurai Warriors Legend of the Sandals, textless opening and closing. Region A. It has an English dub. The other one have an English dub? I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it or something. For the most part, I was pretty sure, and I double or triple checked or something. Not that I can check my collection itself, that's kind of impractical, but I checked to see if I had this on Blu-ray, and I don't think I do. So now I do. Got Blu-ray 1 and Blu-ray 2. You know, simple enough. Anime Essentials probably means there was no slipcover. Anyways, last but not least, Digimon Adventure Tri Future, which I do believe is the 6th and 7th movie, which means I now have all of Digimon Adventure Tri. Let's see. Ooh, Anime Expo 2018 panel featuring Colleen O. Shit, I can't pronounce that. Joshua Seth and Johnny Young Bosch. Okay. I see a Region A down there. DVD Region 1. Stuff we would expect. I'm guessing this is as dubbed as the other movies in the series were, and I don't, right now, I didn't see something. Maybe I just didn't. Anyways, time to open this up. We have DVD, we have Blu-ray, we have starring, okay, I was wondering if that was important text, as in like, oh, I should read it out loud, but it's actually credits, which you know is important, but it's not, oh, I need to read it out loud important. Well, anyways, there we go. Here's this week's anime DVD collection update. Well, I guess my anime watching's been a little off this past week, even though I've been very off this past week. I mean, I worked Wednesday last week after the last update, and then I've been off on PTO since then. But I haven't watched a whole lot of stuff, I guess. There's a mix of stuff, but what I have watched. So I didn't watch all of Naruto Shippuden DVD set 36. But I did watch the first disc, and whenever I next get together with my friend, we'll probably watch the second disc. And this stuff was actually pretty good. There was more flashback stuff, but this flashback stuff was, unlike the vast majority of a lot of Naruto Shippuden's flashback stuff, that was super fucking relevant, because it's supposed to help you understand what's going on, basically. And the engagement between the people has been okay. I think the series has gone a little on the, maybe not absurd scale, but somewhere on the crazy scale, such that it's kind of hard to keep perfect track of how everything feels, I guess, for lack of a better word. But you know, it's it was actually nice. Yeah, it was very nice. It was I'm kind of hoping that the series is building up to a finale. I just am worried about Boruto, because it'll be continuing afterwards, and I don't know if me and my friend will watch that. Anyways, because I hadn't been watching a lot of anime, I put on Testament of Sister New Devil Season 2 Burst, and I've only watched like 3 or 4 episodes of it because I'm going slow, and it's okay. Big problem with it is I suspect I had the same problem with the first season, where it introduces these succubus sort of content that are very strong and relevant to the story, but they also, oh Jesus, I don't know where that came from. But they feel a little intrusive to otherwise good ideas. Not unwatchable, intrusive per se. I'm sure for some people they would be, but more like it feels like it's trying to make it where you have to. Well, it's trying to sell on sex appeal a whole lot, when I feel like it has interesting enough ideas where it doesn't need to lean as heavily on that. Although that said, so far with this second season, I don't know if I've gotten a very good feel for what we're watching. I remember the first season kind of ending in a way where I was curious where it was going to go from there, which is part of the reason I was still interested in watching this. But I guess there were little details I didn't remember. Oh. It's okay. I may continue watching it. I don't know. I haven't thought too much about all that stuff. because I don't know, I've been doing more video gaming stuff. I think I was hitting Monster Hunter a little hard, and part of that was probably that I was ready to play Super Smash Brothers, and so I was getting into a kind of gaming mood. And so what have I done with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate so far? So to begin with, I kind of wanted to unlock the characters, and that was what I really wanted to do. Well, that and get used to the control schemes, because it's not like they radically changed it, but sometimes there's just little timing things that you kind of have to get used to, and this would have been the first time playing with the Joy-Cons. And so I guess an example of something they did differently is normally you have 2 rows of shoulder buttons, and traditionally speaking, at least starting with the GameCube controllers on Melee, these would be your roll buttons, and there wasn't a button here, and so this would be your grab. And they've had to play around with that because they've had control schemes that don't have all of those buttons. But I think that's generally been what they've sort of stuck to up until this one, where they've changed it. I think they changed the order, maybe just for the Joy-Cons, because it's a little easier to hit the Z triggers. And so these are your roll, and this is your grab instead, which is an interesting swap. But maybe that's a Joy-Con only thing, just because when you're holding the Joy-Cons like this, that's a little more natural. And so I can kind of understand it. And I say a little more natural with the implication I'm also giving y'all that my instinct was to use the top shoulder buttons. In other words, if I were to play completely reset controls and not have previous memory on how to use the controls, the Z triggers probably would have made more sense. Which is why I think it makes sense for them to use that. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, what else have I been doing? Mostly, I'm trying to think if I've been doing stuff on the computer. And not yet. I did finally start moving things forward, so I will be able to resume ripping these again. I guess mentioning that, that also includes making sure I have plenty of additional disk space. That's an additional 18 terabytes. And these are Western Digital Reds, which means they are more suited for how I've been using hard drives in tightly packed environments, just serving as network addressable shares sorts of things. Not as much airflow, not as much dust control, hard drives crunched together in closed spaces. I think the Western Digital Reds are good for that. But before I've actually started ripping these, because these piles have only gotten bigger ever so slightly, I think, I'm actually... So I had to replace the UPS on one of the servers because the battery had died in it, and that caused the things that were being battery powered to not be able to get power through that UPS. So I replaced it with a better one. I could probably in theory replace the battery, but I have honestly not tried to figure that out yet. But the point is, that allowed me to start that server up again, and that one is vanilla, which had most of the non-anime hard drives from the non-anime system. And now that it's back up, it's really actually quite nice to be able to poke around and go to some nostalgic stuff, rewatch scenes from a bunch of old movies. Maybe not old movies, favorite movies is probably better. Not only is that nice, but this means I can start figuring out Disc 0 died, and so I basically number the discs starting from 0 just because I'm a programmer, and we start counting from the number 0 instead of from the number 1 like any normal person. And the fact that it's Disc 0 that died should tell you, okay, there's a reason why he really wants to focus on that, and that's because Disc 0 is the first non-anime disc, which means that it's the one that has everything I prioritized ripping first, which means a lot of great stuff that is on there isn't available. There's some, like before, since I got Batman the Animated Series later, that's not on there because that ended up on the later disc, but I think some of the movies are on there. So, Sub-Zero and Mask of the Phantasm. Basically, I dug all of my non-anime DVDs out of storage, and the first part of ripping all of these has pretty much been organizing those DVDs. The goal being that, You know, I wanted this stuff so I can sit down and work on stuff, and those DVDs, those non-anime DVDs, are kind of a mess. But fortunately, I'm able to sort through them and figure out, okay, I need to pay attention to this one, I need to re-rip this one. In fact, it's kind of interesting because I guess what happened was it probably started out as a 1.5 terabyte hard drive, and then it got upgraded to a 2 terabyte when that got taken off of something else. So it's got a list. It's got a bunch of stuff that I ripped for the first time that was really important. But there's some things that I've gone through without going through my oldest DVDs that are like, okay, those aren't on the server, so they need to be re-ripped. That's like Game of Thrones Season 4. Now, technically, I think this is the second copy of Wizards. It's Steven Universe Season 1, Adam Famine Values, Castle Season 3. So, you know, I'm basically sorting through all of my non-anime DVDs to, well, I guess get them in the boxes first, but a lot of them are in this one box that's bigger than it really should be for holding DVDs because it's too heavy, and the box is falling apart, so you kind of have to hold it tight. You can't do weird juggling acts with it. So, yeah, I have to get the DVDs out of that one. And so basically I'm going to eventually reach a point where those DVDs are more managed. Most of them, which are already ripped, will be in boxes that I might take to storage earlier than the others. I don't know. I'm still trying to play that one by ear. But eventually I'll reach a point where I'm like, okay, I can definitely start ripping these. Because one thing I have to do, I should probably take the bad hard drive out, put the new hard drives in, format the new hard drives, verify I can't get data off the old hard drive, and maybe I don't want to even if I can, because I can't know which data is good or bad because I don't have a good checksum system in place. And then I will use the symlinks on one server to figure out what stuff I need to re-rip. Because I use Linux symlinks in order to take contents from all these hard drives and make them appear in a location relevant to each other. So even if I get Batman the Animated Series and I have to rip it on 3 different hard drives, and Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero are on yet another, and the old live-action Batmans are on yet another, all of those can end up in one folder called Batman on the server that's like, okay, well, here's Symlinks. Symlinks all come in here. It allows me to group anime, non-anime, and hentai, and DVDs, and Blu-rays, and franchises within all of those. So it's you know, it yam what it yam. But outside that, I don't know, I guess I'm just enjoying my vacation, you know. I'm zombieing out a lot, just enjoying my me time, which is unfortunate for y'all. It makes for less exciting weekly updates, I know, but hopefully you can take some solace in the fact of knowing that it's happening because I'm enjoying my PTO, not because I'm feeling like, oh, I have to fill my time. You know, I think a lot of people take PTO and they don't give themselves breathing space to do it. Usually that comes in the form of, you know, oh, well, I'm taking 2 weeks vacation, but those 2 weeks vacations are going to be traveling to Disney World. And, you know, you kind of need to go to Disney World or whatever, but it means that usually a lot of those people come back and they're like, nah, I'm just as tired as I was when I left. My goal is to not do that, because I have the wiggle room to do that, at least for now. So it also means that I've also been logging on to, what's it called, you know, I've been chillaxing on VR chat, not even really just doing anything, just kind of chilling. So it's been great. Taking naps, chilling, slowly browsing the internet. It's a good PTO. So, I'll still try to watch stuff. There's a good chance that I might be able to get around to some non-anime stuff, because I will be focusing on those a bit. Because, like, we have Gravity Falls, complete series here, and I've never watched any Gravity Falls. It's supposed to be pretty good. So, since I'm prioritizing processing non-anime stuff, I might prioritize getting it out of these stacks, which means maybe some of them would end up being watched. I don't know. No guarantees. Just mostly a thought I had, I guess. But Yeah, let's see. If you're wondering why I didn't watch the final arc of Relife, it's because I started rewatching Relife last week because I showed a couple episodes to a friend. Well, he wants to continue watching it, and chances are we are actually going to finish it when he next comes over, and then maybe watch the last arc. So maybe on my next update I'll be talking about that. Guess we'll find out. Yeah, I can't think of anything else notable to talk about. So y'all have a nice week.